The National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon is currently taking place in Volé, Yaoundé. The bishops of Cameroon are expressing their concerns about issues that affect the livelihood of Cameroonians. Archbishop Andrew Nkeya Mfwanya officially opened the conference on Tuesday as his president. In Buea, Muslim faithful are being called upon to pray for peace, unity and civility. Sheikh Mohammed Abubakar, Imam of the Central Mosque, made this call as they celebrated the feast of Eid Mubarak. And the mayor of Buea has received a shipment of solar bulbs from the project's lead of Light Up Fako. This project aims to provide solar panels to Fako division to enhance security. Good evening and welcome to Divine Mercy Prime. Those were the headlines. Their full readouts will be yours in a moment. The 49th Plenary Assembly of the Bishops of Cameroon was officially opened on Tuesday, April 9, 2024 by Archbishop Andrew Nkeya Mfwanya, President of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon. In his opening speech, Archbishop Andrew Nkeya addressed several concerns, including the high cost of living and the misuse of social media platforms to spread false information and promote hate speech. He also reaffirmed the church's stance on the blessing of same-sex marriage in Cameroon. Details with Joyce Bong, who was in Volé in Yaoundé.
It is therefore with these words of exhortation that I now officially declare open the 49th Plenary Assembly of the Bishops of Cameroon.
It is with these words that His Grace Andrew Nkeya officially opened the 49th plenary session of the Bishops of Cameroon, taking place at the conference hall at the National Episcopal Conference in Yaoundé. The official opening ceremony began with a welcome address from His Grace Jean Barga, the Archbishop of Yaoundé. Welcoming his brother bishops to this archdiocese, His Grace expressed the delight of his Christians as they count themselves lucky to be graced with the presence of the bishops in their city.
It is always a great pleasure to welcome the bishops in our city, in Yaoundé, in our diocese too. We see every time that is a sign of the graces and a sign of blessing coming from God. So as Yaoundé is the big city of our nation, we need really blessings every time to overcome the situations.
Among several issues highlighted in his opening speech, His Grace Andrew Nkeya decried the high cost of living, misuse of social media platforms, and the proliferation of misinformation and hate speech in these platforms.
We spoke about the rising cost of living among our people, and we are going to discuss that also to see what to do within our own powers, what advice and exhortation to give. We also mentioned the fact that 2025 is the year for presidential elections, and we exhort every Cameroonian to register and express their civil right to vote. And we also called on the powers that be to ensure that Cameroonians recognize themselves in their vote, which we expect to be free and to be fair. We also spoke about the irresponsible use of the social media, where we find a lot of false information, fake news, lies, and settlement of scores. We exhort all those who are using the social media to use it responsibly to promote the common good and to respect the good name of every individual.
He also condemned the profanation of Our Lady Queen of Peace Sanctuary in Simalène.
Dans cette paroisse sanctuaire est un acte odieux et inacceptable que nous condamnons. Nous appelons les auteurs à la conversion. À notre frère, l'archevêque Jean Barga, archevêque de Yaoundé, et à son presbytérium, et à tous les fidèles de l'archdiocèse de Yaoundé, nos encouragements à tenir bon dans la foi et de rester vigilants tout en leur donnant l'assurance de nos prières.
In line with this heinous act, the bishop sent words of encouragement to the Christian population of that locality.
Seeing what they did against the sanctuary of Nsimalen, I can say I saw the demon walking in our city. So I call all the faithful to continue what we call spiritual fight. According to St. Paul, we are now facing those who are against God and against the church.
The bishops of Cameroon reassured the Christians of their prayers. Present during this plenary session is Robert Cardinal Sarah, erstwhile prefect of the Congregation of Divine Worship and Discipline of Sacrament.
Meanwhile, during the official opening mass, His Excellency Jose Alvelino Betancourt, Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, joined his voice to that of the Archbishop Nkeya to reaffirm the Church's stance or the Church's position regarding the doctrine on marriage. He emphasized that according to the Catholic Church, marriage is exclusively between a man and a woman. Joyce Mbong once more.
The Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea has reiterated the Church's doctrine on marriage, which remains between a man and a woman. Anything short of this is against the Church's teachings. He was speaking at the opening Mass of the 49th Plenary Session of the Bishops of Cameroon and the Thanksgiving Mass of the 10th anniversary of the election of Pope Francis at Our Lady Queen of Apostle Minor Basilica in Yaoundé.
Allow me to transmit a very important message from Pope Francis. The doctrine of the Church has not changed. Marriage is between man and woman for life. The doctrine of the Church has not changed.
Officiating this Eucharistic celebration, the Nuncio extended the Holy Father's greetings, prayers and blessings to the people of goodwill in Cameroon.
Bonne Pâque du Christ ressuscité. Chers frères et sœurs, il y a près 6 semaines que j'étais à Rome avec le pape François. Le pape François me charge de vous transmettre ses chaleureuses et fraternelles salutations, ses prières et sa bénédiction à l'occasion de cette assemblée de la Conférence épiscopale nationale du Cameroun qui célèbre sa 49e assemblée plénière des évêques du Cameroun. J'apporte la solidarité et la proximité du pape François envers cet bien-aimé pays, le Cameroun.
Participating in this Eucharistic celebration, Robert Cardinal Sarah advised all to build their faith on the cross, the Eucharist and the Blessed Virgin Mary. He also reassured all Christians of his prayers while urging them to pray for him as well.
Hostia et Virgo, la croix, l'Eucharistie et la Vierge. Tâchons de bâtir notre vie chrétienne sur ces 3 piliers. Je promets de prier pour vous. Vous aussi, je vous demande humblement de prier pour moi.
At the end of this Mass, the bishops imparted their blessings and retired to the National Episcopal Conference Center, where they continued listening to reports from different commissions and giving plausible solutions.
Muslims in Boya municipality and beyond have been urged to foster unity, sharing, tolerance, patience, and civility. Sheikh Mohammed Abubakar, the Imam of the Boya Central Mosque, made this call during the celebration of their feast day Eid Mubarak on April 10, 2024. The prayers were held at the Boya Town Stadium Esplanade. Nadeshme attended the celebration and had this report.
Allahu Akbar. They came out in their numbers to thank Allah for the grace He has given them for 29 days of fasting and also to ask forgiveness for their transgressions. The Muslim faithful also supplicated Allah to protect the country from the increasing crimes. They prayed God touches the hearts of those planning to harm their brothers and sisters to refrain from their evil deed. The Imam of the Boya Central Mosque, Mohammed Abubakar, while preaching, called on the Muslim community to develop a heart of humanity which centers on healthy heart, sick heart, and the dead heart.
We have three hearts. The first heart is a healthy heart. The second heart is a sick heart, and the third heart is a dead heart. And if you look at these three hearts, the first heart is a healthy heart, but it requires continuous maintenance. And so Ramadan is a means to continuously arrange and maintain that heart. Then the sick heart is a heart that requires permanent reminders, and the reminding will be in terms of situations like Ramadan that will come to make repairs, associating with persons who know what it takes to be a faithful, and what the third heart will be a dead heart that is not responding to anything that has to do with good for humanity, even to its own self. This is what we thought that going through Ramadan, and Ramadan is such an auspicious period where persons who go through it come out as newborn babies.
In order to have a heart of humanity in the society, the Muslim faithful in Boya municipality and beyond are encouraged by the Imam to build the spirit of unity, sharing, tolerance, patience, and spirit of being Republican citizens.
So these are some of the things that we think they can do, and to remain in the spirit of unity, spirit of sharing, spirit of tolerance, spirit of patience, and spirit of being Republican citizens. Of course, you want to understand that when we talked about issues of youth, they need to be very involved in Republican issues. For example, elections. We're getting to an electoral year. The electoral year means that you want to elect somebody who will determine the life of the state. If you don't go and register, then you keep complaining. Who do you want to change the situation for you? The Lord God says in the Noble Quran that if He has made the situation good, if He will not change the situation of a person until He changes it by Himself.
Excited on this day and with the protection from Allah throughout the 29 days of fasting, these Muslims expressed their sentiment towards the celebration.
Alhamdulillah, we send intense salutation, intense appreciation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has given us the opportunity to see this great month, a month that Muslims are fighting, they are looking for in everywhere. Allah has blessed us, not because we are too powerful, not because we are maybe too rich, but because Allah favored us, and we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Actually, I really enjoyed the 29 days, and I wish it was extended to more than 29 days. You understand? Because in this fasting period, we felt a lot of change, a lot of harmony, a lot of brotherhood, a lot of sisterhood. There was a lot of things to enjoy.
The feast of Eid Mubarak in Boya brought together civils, administratives, traditionals, and religious authorities of Fako to celebrate with the Muslim community.
After participating in the spiritual activities and celebrating with the Muslim faithful, the Imam visited the ongoing construction works at Gratitude Islamic Nursery and Primary School in Boya Town. The completion of this project is estimated to cost around 500 million francs CFA. The Imam appealed to the community to assist and support the Muslim community in achieving their goals. Now an excerpt of the Imam Mohammed Abubakar.
If we pray in the masjid, if there are 10 people in the masjid, 10,000 are praying outside. This masjid is a vision 30 years, and the intention was to put it up at exits of our vision. We are almost 26 years in office. You don't want to pass through a place and you don't leave a trace. So this is what we call a project which is going to we're leaving like a legacy behind for our children. We have named as many as 1,000 plus children when we became Imam. So these children, where do they go to? We have a school, primary school, have a secondary school, which is accessing the second cycle already. And why not the university? They need a place where they can prepare them spiritually in order to be good citizens. And you leave from school, you walk up into the masjid, you pray, and it's a whole center. It's a whole center because here is going to be one of the iconic buildings in Buea once it's completed. So we need your contributions. We need your sacrifice. You have to sacrifice enormously. It's an online activity which is going on, and we see very few Muslims participate. Unfortunately, this project, 400 or 500 million, is something that would have been done since last year. But here we are. We are still at the level of racing to deck even the first decking. So we are not saying that what we have done is not enough. We don't need somebody to come and help us build the masjid for us, because if once you contribute in building something, you can preserve it, you jealously keep it well. But if somebody will do it for you, you will not know what it takes, the pains. But if you toil for it, you will know how to keep it. For example, good roads. You want to have good roads. If you don't work for the good roads, you will come one day and burn it because you don't know what it takes to have a good road. Hospitals and stuff like that. So this is what we think the community, it is an obligation. It's their duty, their responsibility to build a house of God where you worship comfortably. We have them elsewhere. We don't want to wait for people from the Saudi to come. You've written projects, we've written things, people are not responding. So you keep talking. No, we think that the community should stand up more than ever before to come to their own assistance and complete this project, which we term or title Vision 30 Years.
Dr. Molua Simit, the president of Light Up FACO, alongside his team, has delivered 1,000 solar bulbs to assist in addressing security concerns in several towns within the FACO division. This April 10th, 2024, the bulbs were received at the Buea Council by the mayors of Buea and Tico, as well as other local chiefs. Our reporter Joseph Otter was present at this event and brings to us the following report.
As a means to light up the street of some towns in FACO division, the Light Up FACO team this Wednesday, April 10, 2024, have arrived with over 900 solar bulbs at the Buea Council under the auspices of the visionary Dr. Molua Simit Beke to fulfill this cause. Produced by Sohai Solar Company China, these solar bulbs will serve as a means of eradicating theft in the society, thereby reducing the rate of insecurity in various towns in the FACO division. With the mayor of Buea and Tico municipalities being in attendance, as well as chiefs, these lighting systems are received warmly.
Jojo, Limbe, oye! Oye! Jojo, Tico, oye! Oye! Jojo, Moyuka, oye! Oye! Jojo, Egbe.
Receiving this initiative with all gratitude, the Lord Mayor of Buea, David Mafani Namange Esquire, thanks the visionary and therefore calls on all to support this movement.
Thank you very much. You vividly remember that the initial launch of the project took place here in the Buea Council for the entire FACO division before moving to other municipalities, and the people of Buea bought the idea and we have supported it in total. During my vacation in the US, I had to move to Alaska, not just to talk with Dr. Molua Beke, but to meet other partners. However, I discovered one thing. They wanted to see us take the first step before some will come in. What I have to say to the people of Buea is that this has come to fruition, but it's not a one-man, one move. We have to come together, tie our hands, put our hands together so that we realize.
Being happy receiving these bulbs, the president of Light Up FACO gives the way forward.
Next step that we're going to do is to meet again with the mayors. Since we signed a convention with the mayors, we'll meet with the mayors and try to see how we can start the implementation by see where we can allocate these lamps. And once we do that, we'll start by making, because the lights do not come with poles, we have to manufacture the poles. I've talked with the mayor of Buea and the mayor of Tico, and they are working tirelessly to see how we can manufacture the poles. That will be very uniform. And after that, we'll do the allocation and the implementation will start on. We have to train people in various villages that will be working with the council so that they can maintain these lights. That we don't have to install the lights and the next 1 year they are not working. So it's continuous maintenance.
This therefore attests to the fact that when there is light, there is hope.
Abongbang in the East region will host the next edition of the FENASCO League A Games. Secondary Education Minister Professor Pauline Nalova-Lyonga made the declaration yesterday while officially closing the 1 week 2024 FENASCO A Games in Limbe. Jude Mbako with the details.
1 week ago, secondary school students and their teachers from all 10 regions of the country gathered at the Ngeme Stadium in Mukuntange, Limbe, for the official start of this year's FENASCO League A Games, organized by the Ministry of Secondary Education. Over the course of the week, these young people participated in various sport disciplines, with football being the most notable. During the closing ceremony at the Centenary Stadium this April 9th, 2024, the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Pauline Nalova-Lyonga, expressed her satisfaction to the delegations for representing their regions and demonstrating fair play throughout the games. More than 50 awards and prizes were then distributed in various disciplines, as well as to those who played an active role in accommodating the crowds during this 1 week in Limbe. According to the organizing commission of the games, the Central region secured the highest number of medals, followed by the West region. The North came third, with the Southwest region in the 4th place, having 9 medals. The children expressed their satisfaction with the event and promised to come back next year to perform even better.
Moi, c'est Ndanga Poro David, athlète de la région de l'Est. Bon, j'ai gagné le trophée du fair play parce que bon, durant la compétition, j'ai été humble envers mes adversaires et très courageux. J'ai gagné un trophée et 2 médailles en bronze. Je dis merci à Madame le délégué et tout le staff de la région de l'Est. Vive l'Est et vive le Cameroun.
At the closing ceremony here in Limbe, notable attendees included a Minister of Secondary Education, Pauline Nalova-Lyonga, Public Service and Administrative Reforms, Joseph Lay, Youth Affairs, Monona Frotsu, as well as representative of the Minister of Sport and Physical Education. The Governor of the Southwest Region and his team also represented. Minister Joseph Lay of Administrative Reform, a native of Abongbang in the East region of Cameroon, was particularly pleased given that Abongbang will host the FENASCO League A Games next year 2025, marking the 25th edition of the tournament.
The Kenyan government has sacked 100 doctors taking part in a nationwide strike in the country, and 38 migrants have died off the coast of Njimbotu after a boat capsized en route to Yemen. Aloysius Like takes a look into these world stories on our foreign page and now reports.
A public hospital in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, has laid off 100 doctors who are taking part in a nationwide strike that has been ongoing for almost a month, its management said on Tuesday. The Kenyatta University Referral Hospital said new doctors had been hired in place of those striking. Doctors in Kenya went on a nationwide strike in mid-March demanding better pay and working conditions. President William Ruto on Sunday broke his silence over the strike, saying there was no money to pay the striking doctors. The Doctors' Union has remained adamant, and on Tuesday, hundreds of doctors took part in a protest and presented a petition to Parliament urging lawmakers to intervene in their labor dispute. This is not the first time Kenyan doctors are striking over poor pay and working conditions. In 2017, doctors took part in a 100-day strike that saw people dying from lack of care. The strike ended with the Doctors' Union signing an agreement with the government to increase their pay. Doctors now say part of what was agreed upon in 2017 has not been implemented. 51 passengers were rescued after the bus they were traveling in was swept away by floodwaters on a river bridge in northern Kenya, authorities said on Tuesday. The bus is still stuck in the river some 30 meters away from the bridge, although the waters are continuing to subside, Tena River County Commander Ali Diama told the Associated Press. Diama said the road has now been closed indefinitely. He said anyone found violating the order will be arrested and charged. He equally said passengers are accounted for. Police are looking for the driver of the bus who ignored passengers' concerns and insisted on driving through the water. Police said some of the passengers managed to escape just before the bus was submerged while others climbed into the roof. The incident happened just hours after Kenya's road agency announced the closure of another section of the same road that was flooded after the Tena River swelled due to continuing heavy rains. The government had on Monday issued a flood alert to residents of Tena River and Lamu counties after a dam upstream was breached by flooding. The United Nations Migration Agency says 38 migrants are dead after a ship capsized off the Djibouti on a popular route to Yemen. 22 others have been rescued from the shipwreck, the International Organization for Migration, the IOM, said Tuesday. Rescue teams searched for 6 other migrants who were thought to be on board.
Many of them women, children, and even babies, unfortunately lost their lives when this boat capsized. At least 22 people have survived, and IOM, in coordination and partnership with local authorities, is helping to respond to the needs of those who survived and, of course, help them to deal with the trauma that they are facing.
Djibouti is the main transit country for migrants trying to reach Gulf nations from countries in the Horn of Africa such as Ethiopia, Somalia, and the rest.
Many of the migrants who perished in this tragedy and who have perished in previous tragedies are trying to reach the Gulf, primarily to find work and job opportunities. But research at IOM, the International Organization for Migration, has also found that conflict and insecurity are major drivers. And also climate change. Increasingly, the impact of climate change is forcing people to take these extremely dangerous journeys.
The IOM says the conflict and insecurity as well as the climate change are major push factors forcing people to attempt the crossing. The route is extremely dangerous for migrants who are targeted by traffickers and can face kidnap, arbitrary arrest and forced recruitment into warring groups, particularly in Yemen.
Our report closes Divine Mercy Prime tonight, but before we part ways, let's review once more the headlines. Cameroon is currently taking place in Volé, Yaoundé. The bishops of Cameroon are expressing their concerns about issues that are affecting the livelihood of Cameroonians. Archbishop Andrew Nkeya officially opened the conference on Tuesday as his president. In Buea, Muslim faithful are being called upon to pray for peace, unity and civility. Sheikh Mohammed Abubakar, Imam of the Central Mosque, made this call as they celebrated the feast of Eid Mubarak. And the mayor of Buea has received a shipment of solar bulbs from the project lead of Light Up Fako. This project aims to provide solar panels to Fako division to enhance security. Thanks for watching Divine Mercy Prime. Stay tuned for more interesting programs at DMR TV. Up next shall be Mountain Echoes. Have a restful night and in particular way to the Muslim community. Good night.